What's up guys, welcome back to Vanuatu. Before we get going with today's video, just a quick piece of housekeeping. We've made a change in the recording software. So I was using Fraps before. If any of you are thinking of getting into this, Fraps is a really good start. It's very quick, it's very easy to use. You press one key, it records what you're doing. It's very nice, until you have to edit together videos in 7-minute 4GB chunks, and a 20-minute video takes the best part of 4 hours to edit together. So I've made a switch to OBS. There's going to be some teething issues purely because I'm new to the software, I'm still testing it out. I probably cut off the start of me speaking. This is about the 7th time I've recorded this intro because of various issues with it. Hopefully we'll be fine. If we're not, I'll just have to record it again. Hopefully we're going to come back after the standard intro VT to play in the Champions Playoff Major semi-final against Amicale. It's going to be a big one. See you in a second. Hopefully that has sorted out the issue. I think I've managed to make this work. Apologies, the picture quality is not as good as usual. OBS apparently is a bit more processor heavy than the usual Fraps, but if it saves me time in editing, it's a sacrifice I'm happy to make. Bit of news to catch you up on. The transfer window is still open. We are still being picked clean. I think Peter Glinton might be on his way. I'll try for him a new contract and hopefully he'll stay. We'll find out probably after this game or in the next video. £220 an appearance is a big fee, but we need to keep him. We've got a load of wage budget left, so that's not a big deal. But we have lost some more players, as you will see. Since the last video, Aturangi Patere, Amon Liao and Omai Tangapiri have all left for Spirit. It's a really strange thing. Tangapiri wasn't really playing. I'm not going to cry too much over losing him. Liao was a guy I had big hopes for, and Patere could have become something good for us, but it didn't work out. I'm really confused as to why these guys are all going here though. Their season it's not quite over, but Spirit have to put in a big effort. They're 6 points shy. Mariki have picked up some of our players as well, so that's going to be a thing. Let's get into the game. Let's see what we can do. We are, as I said, we're playing Amicale. This is the semi-final stage of the league playoffs. Essentially, we have to beat them to get to the final, as you might have guessed from the word semi-final, and then we have to win the semi-final to get into the Champions League, which is what we're seeing here. The club screen is saying I've already qualified, so I don't know if that means we are going to have games in the competition that's going on right now, as you can see, or if that means we've qualified for next season's tournament. But I guess we're going to find out. It's saying the O-League draw is coming up, so presumably I'm in this year's. But I guess we're going to find out. We're going to find out together, or we won't find out at all. That's usually the way it goes. Tefeo will be who we play in the final. Apparently they've beaten Moia. I'm really confused because I'm sure that just said Moia were in the first as well. I'm not going mad. I'm sure I just saw that. Sorry. I know this is distracting from getting into the actual game itself, but we'll get there in a second. I just want to check something. Oh, it's Mariki. Sorry, two teams with very similar names. That's always going to throw me. You've probably learned by now I'm a bit easily confused. Amicale are the favourites, as you'd expect. I know we beat them last time out, but I feel like maybe that was a bit of luck. We're going to have to see what happens. 357 people in attendance for today's game. That's huge. I don't know how. Because we've lost Liao from the bench, I'm gonna drop, if he's fit, Peral in there. He was suffering with injuries, but if he can play, he will play. And if he won't, we'll figure it out. In fact, let's put Payoka in there, because Payoka's been decent when I've seen him this season. Nothing spectacular, but he's been doing okay at 7.3 rating. I think he only played one game. But we'll see how that goes. Before we start, I should go through the team selection with you, because I know you guys always like to know who's playing, who's starting for us. So Mamani is in goal after we've fended off quite a few bids for him. Leo, Bed, Power and Tanesapa at the back. Hodge, Lake, Glinton and Isa in the middle, and Laptas and Figueras up top again. Those guys managed to work pretty well together last time, so hopefully that's a thing that can continue. They're struggling for fitness, but we'll have to make the best of it, because I haven't had a chance to get them fit, so that's going to be a thing. Let's see what goes on. For those of you who've been paying attention whilst the teams are warming up, I always do this and they warm up straight away. If you look at the top of the screen, you'll see one of the things with OBS, so I've been able to drop the Twitter link, and you'll have spotted there's a Twitch link up there as well, because now I've got OBS, I can actually stream Football Manager. So we'll be doing streams occasionally. If you keep an eye on my Twitter, I will post on there when I'm going live, just so you can join those streams. I also use Twitter to post when we've got new videos up. For those of you who may not have spotted it yet, we've got a new series up as well. We're doing the Sir Alex Ferguson challenge. We've ended up taking over a team that's quite controversial for Fergie's standards, but we're gonna do something good with it, I think. For those of you who don't know, the rules with the Ferguson challenge are that you take over the team that's 19th in the Premier League after holidaying to November 6th, and then you've got 4 years to win a domestic cup, 7 to win the league, 8 to win a double, and 13 to win a treble, which is quite doable with the team we've got, whilst bringing through youth and trying to get coaches to stay on at the club, or get players to become coaches and stay on at the club. So it's quite an interesting challenge. It's one of the classic FM challenges, but I thought it was a good one to kind of get the challenge underway, give you a chance to see some bigger players that you know of, because obviously we're playing in the Premier League. As we've got to highlight Tanesapa with a throw into Glinton, straight back to Tanesapa, which is a very, very strange decision. But we've given it away to Kotoga. Fred's got the ball on the wing. It's a crossover to Viola. I don't know how he's missed that. He's one of the best attacking players in the league. He's far too good to be here. He's played in Serie B, I believe, in Italy. He shouldn't be at this level. But I've said that about a lot of their players. They're on the attack again. The guy whose name I can't pronounce finds Mamani with, I don't know what the hell that was. Mamani's gone with a long kick upfield. He's going to give it away. Fred's on the attack again. Skips over a tackle, crosses it, and Viola, he wasn't going to miss twice. I didn't make any tactical changes to this game because we've had such a strong team all season that I haven't had a chance to play with anything tactically, which means we've got to this really important stage of the season and I'm kind of having to make it up as I go along, and I don't know what to do, because the midfield have been fantastic and I feel like we need to have someone more defensive in the midfield, but I don't know who or what that's going to be, just to try and break some of this up. Obviously the two central defenders have only played one game together, so they haven't got that cohesion. Namatex picked up the ball. He's got all the time in the world. Shala out to Fred. Fred's been devastating. We'll have to start closing him down. Mamani, see, the assistant manager said the same thing I just did. Mamani's managed to pick up a point blank save though, so I can't complain too much. They're having all of the play so far. Everything is them. They're coming straight at us. They've got another attack. Shallow with a free kick. Fred rattles the crossbar, but Vaca, so I can't pronounce the guy's name. He scored. We're 2-0. We need to start looking at some changes, boys. We need to work out what we're going to do. We're going to have to man mark Viola because that's a really good idea. Choices. because we've got to find a way to turn this around. Let's close down Fred. Still making changes. Sorry, I know doing these tactics on the fly, it's not the most entertaining for you guys. I'm going to go to counter because they're a little bit better. They are a better team than us, and I may have to sacrifice Lake just for a bit more positional knowledge in there. Well, it looks like we almost had a decent shot on target for a change. We've got a corner now. Lake with the corner. Finds power. Oh, just over the crossbar. We've really got to figure this out and fast. Let's have a quick concentrate shout. The trouble with these players is that they don't have much determination. I've said this before. They do tend to crumble whenever they find themselves under any pressure whatsoever, and it's really frustrating. You know, once we get a couple of goals down, they just fall apart. I'm really struggling to get back into this game. It looks like they managed to shut us down well down the left, which is frustrating because I've only got one player I can bring on the left in either position. I don't know whether it's better to have him defend or attack at this point. I'll have to do some kind of tactical wizardry, I think, to get us back into this game. I really don't want to sacrifice Isa because frankly he's been a revelation for us. If you want me to tell them the performance was disappointing, I'm just going to have to shout at them. Laptas seems demotivated. Well, that's good. That's helpful. Thanks for that. Okay, we're going to give it sort of 15 minutes, and then we're going to see if yelling at them has done anything to benefit us. Yeah, we've got some players who don't speak the same language as me, so hopefully anger just crosses all language barriers and me screaming in their faces will do something. We've got the ball again. Peroni coming out of the back. They can afford to build out the back all day at this point, I think. The guy whose name I can't pronounce has beaten Obed, who should have had that. Mamani's done well to save it. They're going to be all over us. And it's a really disappointing end to the season because we were so dominant and we lost so many players. Like, so many of our best players have all left the club. Mamani is keeping us just in this game. Power's coming forward. Hopefully he can do something on the break. He's found Laptas onto Isa. What can Isa do? Hopefully Isa can do something good here. He's got a cross. Oh, straight at the keeper. Straight at the keeper. Let's have a push forward. So frustrating because we've been so good all season, and losing the front two, losing Krishna and Gishard has just cost us all day. We've got so many players playing badly now. I'm going to take Tanner Sapper off for Gibson. I think it's going to be one of those times where I make a sub, you know. Let's take off Tanner Zappa, let's take off Figueres. Really scrambling now. I'm going to put Payoka on for Laptas. I know it's so counterintuitive going to this formation when we're in this kind of trouble, but we've just got to do what we can. Put him in there as a ball-winning midfielder on support, and hopefully he'll be able to win the ball back. Push Isa forwards and hope we can take advantage of his lateral ability as a supporting winger. Leslie is one of those players. He's just not good at anything. He's such a. His best position is on the left wing, but that ship is sailing. Put Hodge up there. Amicale has scored a third. I'll show you the replay in just a second. We're going to go on to attack. I'll confirm that. I didn't see we didn't see the goal. We don't need to see the goal. A left back just scored against us. I think I've done everything that's in my power to do to try and salvage anything up this game. We've gone on to attack. We've gone to a 4-1-2-3 formation. We keep giving the ball away though. Let's just show some passion. Just show some passion. That's all we can. One goal would make this worthwhile to me at this point, I think, which is really, really sad, because I felt all season like we were probably going to power through this. We were going to make something out of position. I mean, it's been us and Amicale all the way through. There's not much we can do at this point. Well, I could just go long ball, but it's going to be 4-0. The guy whose name I'm never going to be able to pronounce, Vakatalasau or whatever it is, scored a free kick. It's a heartbreaking way to end the season. I mean, I don't think I've been this confused. We have, like I said, we every time we go behind, we fall apart. There's no players with any determination worth talking about in this league. For some reason we've got work ball into box. I added that, that was my fault. Let's drop the defensive line back, show a bit more urgency, go route one, close down constantly, prevent the shot. There's too many instructions for a team this bad, but we'll see what we can do with it. 10 minutes to go, one goal is all I ask, just to prove we're still a football team. Obed to Hodge has found Lake in the middle. Iserb manages to not give the ball away for a change. I spoke too soon, he managed to give the ball away straight away, and they're on the attack again. Naka to Namatak. Lake's managed to take a ball off him. Glinton, what can Glinton do? He's going to leave us, let's leave us with something good. Leslie, he had no idea what to do with himself. Hodge with a cross. Leslie, we've got a corner, they've made a sub. Lake with a cross in. We're really missing Day in there on the end of these corners. He was so good with them. I mean, look at those stats. We're just getting absolutely smashed. Absolutely smashed. I think we can officially call this a bottle job, boys. I think we're going to officially call this a bottle job, because I think we've bottled it. You know, all we had to do essentially was to win this one game, and we'd have smashed Tefea in the final. I mean, the team we've got left is still good enough to beat them, and that's disappointing. And you know, I said it at the beginning of the game, 5-0. Vakataka Laka has got himself a hat-trick. I said this right at the very beginning of this save, right at the beginning of the journey. Amicale were going to be the team to beat, and they've proven that. I mean, 5-0. These players are so good. Like I said, there's Italians in this team, and there's a Scot on the bench, and you know, they've got players from all over. And as much as my little collection of Brits and Gibraltarians and Guamayans and Fijians have been trying, you can only do so much. And you know, this kind of a sign of things to come. Maybe I got a little bit complacent knowing I could just kind of play a fairly basic 4-4-2, and we would coast by on the fact that other teams hadn't managed to pick up players yet, and now they've all started to pick up players off of me mostly. It's started to show, and we've got one more game left in the league season, which is the playoff preliminary final, which I genuinely can't remember how that works. Because we're playing Tafea, who obviously won their minor semi-final. Does this give us another chance of getting to the final? Let's have a little look. Loser wins some money. Winner qualifies for the... Ooh! So that must mean that the loser... Yeah! Do you know what, boys? It might not be a bottle job yet. We might get another chance to let Amicale beat us. Maybe. I feel like I'm going to save that for another episode purely because I need to have time offline, I think, to look at this team, to look at the tactics, to see what we can do, see if we can make something out of this. It's a horrible way for this game to go. You know, I felt like I could see a defeat coming, but I didn't think it would be 5-0. And let's try telling the press we haven't got players that want it enough. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully in the next 4 days of game time we're not going to lose Glinton, because then I really will have to figure this out, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what decisions I need to make here. I'm going to leave it there. So give us a follow on Twitter above if you want to see when we're live streaming or when a new video goes up in either this or the Alex Ferguson challenge save. Hit the subscribe button, it will tell you when we've uploaded videos there as well. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed this. Hopefully we've managed to give you some entertainment in our misery, if not just with my general getting confused with OBS. But for now I'm going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Have a very, very good one.